episode 286, Twitter. Hello and welcome. Thank you for listening to another episode, another podcast from me, Jason. Astro Island podcast, or you can call me Jason if you like. Hope the pandemic isn't getting you down, and I hope that you enjoy the some of the content I put out there. And if you don't, that's fine as well. I can't make everybody happy, can I? So anyhow, 286 podcasts. Doesn't include the ones that I never published. I've probably got double that that I never actually put out there, shall we say. Had a little bit of a foray with Podbean, and for a while a lot of these podcasts were hosted there. Had quite a lot of followers. I say followers, listeners, and a good few that downloaded it, but I just felt I didn't have the control over them maybe that YouTube could have. I know Spotify is a better place to have them, and Audible and all the rest of it, so that's something I look at. But I did say to myself I should really do something, anything, to try and get these podcasts out there. Maybe if somebody wants to listen to them, even if they disagree with me, even if they can't stand me, So I sort of turned to Twitter, and since Twitter started, I've been on Twitter at some form, in a personal capacity, and as I found out, a couple of previous incarnations of Astro Island as well. But anyhow, so I sort of got onto Twitter, started tweeting a few things. I think people have a different, use for Twitter. For me, it's probably around these podcasts. I'd try and promote them on Twitter. I'd also engage with people that I'd want to talk to and reply to people I want to talk to, and a nice lot of people. People are on there who aren't arseholes, I do a podcast about my arseholeometer, and it's very sensitive. It's a bit like spider senses, Spider-Man has spider senses, and it can be triggered by arseholes, so. And as I discovered, I've spent quite a bit of time on Twitter over the last few weeks, just trying to promote but that was my main goal, was promote podcasts, see interesting people out there, follow them, listen to what they have to say, follow other podcasters, listen to what they have to say, and that sort of thing. But very quickly you come across arseholes, and it's incredible the things people say. Oh man, I was looking at William Shatner. He's a great guy, and he's in his 80s, isn't he? I think he's an old guy now, but he's very, shall we say, he's very focused and very intellectually aware, and I do love reading his tweets. But the volume of rubbish he gets targeted towards him, and even the national treasure that is Stephen Fry, who took a break from Twitter. I get that now. He took a break in, I think, March or June it was, sorry. And he only made a brief visit today because he's promoting, I think it's Musicians for Belarus, to try and get fair elections in Belarus now, I've done a bit of reading up on Belarus. I didn't know a lot about it. I've heard of it. I knew it used to be, part of the Soviet Union, all that sort of stuff. But the first comment was like really slagging him off, going, what does Stephen Fry know about Belarus? Where was he when we was these South American countries ruled by dictators? I sort of go, wow, these people have a problem, Is it because Stephen Fry's famous and rich? Is that what people have a problem with? I got a feeling with Bill Gates, a lot of it was around his money, and people don't like him because he's got money. Well, I don't look at it that way. You know what? Most people on this planet are richer than me. And, fair play to them. Jesus, I wish it was me. But I certainly would have slagged them off for that, And to have a go at Stephen Fry, wow. And his angle was really coming from the arts. I think there was a theatre group or an actors group who was, trying to build up some support for the opposition in Belarus. It was nicely done. It wasn't... we all try and stay away from politics, don't we? Because politics and religion, everyone's got an opinion, haven't they? So you always try and stay away from that. But he literally just put this lovely, heartwarming message out. Everybody who isn't in Belarus wants the best for the country. We're not even in there, It's physically part of Europe, and We don't want the people to be dictated to by a dictator, and we want it to be fair and everything else. We're not going to interfere. And this is the thing that the well, he's not recognised as the president. I'm not going to mention his name, but he's saying there's interference from outsiders. Well, when you've been rigging the elections for the last 26 years, I mean, and pretty much every election, independent monitors haven't been allowed nearby, and they've always said it's rigged. It doesn't hold up to international standards. I'm sorry, but I mean, you're allowed one or two strikes and you're out, And I think the outpouring of people on the streets who are risking their lives, to see the guy there talking to his security detail around his palace. He's holding, okay, it was unloaded. He's holding a gun unloaded. He's standing there and he's calling them rats. His own people who are out protesting because they want they want the right to pick a leader, and he's calling them rats. Wow. Anyhow, this wasn't meant to be a rant or anything political. But Twitter, wow. And you don't see me going on Twitter saying this, by the way. I'm not going to go out there. I'm not going to stick my head above the parapet and get it shut off, I'm a white, middle-aged, fat, balding man. I think wherever I fit in society, there's probably a lot of people going to have a go. I don't know why. I mean, I've lost my hair. What do I do about that, Fat because I eat all the wrong things and love red wine. I'm white. Well, I had no choice in that, did I? So I'm middle-aged. I made it. Yeah, nearly there, nearly at 50. But, so Twitter, wow, what a place. And in some ways, I don't watch a lot of stuff online. I don't watch a lot of news because a lot of it I don't want to see. It's not censorship. It's not ignoring things. I don't want to hear what an arsehole has to say. It sounds awful, but maybe I'm part of the silent majority. But I just find that people say some of the most ridiculously stupid, awful things on Twitter to some of the most respected people on the planet. And they think that's okay, But hey, listen, it's free speech, If people want to sound like a complete arsehole, let's just let them, shan't we? So, from my perspective, I'm very lucky. I don't really upset anybody. Don't say anything, untoward. Maybe if I did, I would have a legion of haters, perhaps. I don't know. People who don't know me, don't know what I'm about. Well, you could listen to all my podcasts anyway, 286 of them, including this one. Not including the ones I didn't publish. But anyhow, so that's Twitter. And it's something that I feel that it's going to take me time to get used to. I was there at the beginning and I got fed up. Didn't have any real reason to be on there in a personal capacity. I now have these podcasts and I sort of like to promote them, maybe get them out there a little bit. I know there's other ways of promotion as well, and I'll be looking at those. I was very impressed with the responsiveness of celebrities like Ricky Gervais, like his wife Jane Fallon, who's doing some fantastic books. But there's people and they're really good. William Shatner, wow, why is he even bothering to respond to people? But I like that. I like that connectivity. We never had that. When I was growing up, we never had that sort of connection to these people that we admire and that we think are great. And I do find it quite hurtful with some of the comments. And they're only words, Sticks and stones will break my bones, but, words will never hurt me, But wow, people really have some big issues out there. So I think my experience from Twitter now, today, 2020, I have to sort of ignore a lot of the negativity that's out there. Because if you can just wash that away, just push it to one side. There is so much positivity. There's so much good on Twitter, and this is, I suppose, in some ways why lots of people, they leave it, they come back to it. Maybe I left it and I've come back to it now, It's because under all the most horrible, hateful things that people say, underneath it all, there are really genuinely some really nice people. Some people who are out there for good and for, all the good in the world. They're not hateful or disrespectful. And I think it's one of those situations where it doesn't matter all the awful bad things that some of the hopefully minority say, you know, underneath it all, there's some real positivity there, some really good stuff. And that's why I keep going back to Twitter.